Hello everyone and welcome. In this video I'm going to be building and placing the train station basement module. I got my parts ready to go, so let's get started.
Hello there.
Alright, let's kick this off with a parts dump. The train station is the last underground module needed to get this city started. It came in at 1,383 pieces, made up of 283 unique elements, and the model's total weight is just under 1.5 kilograms. I divided this model up into 21 bags for those that are curious about that sort of thing, and I got my instructions pulled up and have started building. If you want to check out the details of this design, there's a link right here and in the description below. So it's been a little while since my last upload. I've mainly been waiting on parts for several of the build projects that are ready to go. I'm also working on some new designs that I'll be able to post videos for over the summer. The whole process of designing these custom builds is a little bit more involved than I'm able to put into a single design video. I will say that this design process has given me a greater respect and appreciation for LEGO designers and what LEGO is able to put on its shelves. Most of my designs take at least 3 weeks of free evenings to figure out, and that's actually the easy part. I'm also working without any rules. I don't need to stick to a theme, I don't have a piece limit, I'm not limited to a parts catalog or any of the other conditions that are usually put on LEGO designs. So refining the design and doing some small build tests to make sure all the techniques work takes another week or so, and this is typically when I finalize my model and export a parts list. While the parts orders are on their way, I have to turn the finalized model into buildable instructions, and this is by far the most tedious part of all. The model needs to be separated into individual steps and submodels, making sure that the order doesn't create impossible steps like floating plates or things put below stuff that's already been built. Anything over 1,000 pieces has a lot of steps, but models that are 4,000 pieces or more are on another level. In some cases, making instructions can take almost as long as designing the model itself in the first place. But with a good set of instructions, creating some numbered bags for the build is actually pretty simple. I go through the steps and add the parts called for along the way to a pile until it looks about the right size, or we reach a logical break like switching to the next floor. But that does mean that some of the custom builds can take several months until they are real and part of the layout. And of course, none of this is the recording, editing, graphics, and voiceovers that go into turning them into videos. So all that to say, I will keep doing my best to get these out as soon as I can, but I apologize if there's some time between some here and there. Still a bit of adjustment to do on my camera position, but I'm a lot happier with this angle. I'll get a bit more of the foreground in the next one, and I think we'll be in good shape from there. So at the end of the design video, I pointed out that this big wall above the side of the bench here was pretty empty and boring looking, and that I was going to find something interesting to put there. I did come up with something I think is a little fun. You're going to see it start to come together here, and I'll let everybody know what it is towards the end of the video. It was an inspiration from somebody else's video. I cannot for the life of me find the reference, but hopefully somebody can point it out in the comments below once you know what it is towards the end of the video. So I mentioned in the design video that choosing these white lattice window inserts really came back to bite me on this build. So how that came about was in the design process. I added the two styles of lattice window inserts. I selected them both and checked what colors they were both available in. My choices were black, pearl gold, and white. I opted for white and then finished up. Didn't think much of it. After exporting the parts and putting my orders together, I quickly realized that almost nobody had more than two of them. It then hit me that each one of them was going to cost more than $4. Ooh. And sure, I could have swapped them out at that point and put in a different color, but I really did like the look of the white ones, and I decided to keep the absurdly expensive pieces because it's now part of the story. I'm really hoping LEGO makes these pieces again soon so I can order a whole bunch of them. So one of the techniques I'm trying to get a little better at is making mechanisms for things. On the front of the train platform, the two flaps there, their intent is to be lifted up when a train has parked to make it easier for passengers to disembark or embark. And I need to have some sort of mechanism accessible on the front to be able to lift and lower those little platforms. So that is something I'm working on. I'm watching some videos to find out some techniques on these sorts of things, but it's definitely one of my weaker skills. I'm just getting this video finished up here on July 1st, and I want to wish a big happy Canada Day to all my fellow Canadians. I hope you're enjoying the day and having a good time. So here's where I'm building the last part of the wall artwork that's on that big boring wall. But it's not just any artwork, it's also a bit of an Easter egg. So I recently watched a video about retro LEGO designs and how they incorporated lots of classic art cues. The creator showed an overlay on a top-down image of the Imperial Trading Post from 1992, and he was showing how the design's blocking looked very much like art and how it almost resembled a Piet Mondrian piece. I liked it, so I built it. And this one represents the half that's built on the raised platform. This part pretty much finishes up the build of the train station basement. The last part to finish off here is the two corner posts of the underground section. They're the same corner posts that are in all of my underground sections, so I'm going to double up the speed on this part of the build. there's the completed design. We're ready to put it on the layout. So first things first, I gotta move the old section of the track out of the way to make room for this one. Ooh, ass ahoy. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to center my butt in the picture for y'all. So yeah, I gotta move the existing tracks kind of out of the way so I can slide this one in. This is the downside to ballast tracks, is they're not exactly easy to connect up to everything else. They're not really as modular as I'd like them to be. But I'll get all of this set up, and I need to add in the connector pins with the axles just to keep everything aligned. And we'll give you a quick little tour as best I can in the underground sections. It's a little hard to get the camera down into these bottom sections because there's so much stuff in the way, but here's how it looks when it's all placed. That's all for this video. If you enjoyed this build, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel to keep up with our progress. If you want to see more of what's been built so far, you can check out some of our other videos here. Thank you so much for watching. Keep on building. Bye for now.